And so Mario Davids became the coach of St. George in the most interesting of situations. St. George have not had a title in 3 years. That's the last time they won. And they are probably looking at how else they can get a title. And they know that Fasil is in their way and that they've got to try and stop them. So it will be a game in which the St. George side will definitely try to stop the runaway lead that Fasil has got. In today's game, the reverse fixture was in favor of Fasil, 1-0. And Siom Kebede, a two-time league winner and former coach of Yemeni club Al Sakar, knows that he's got to take the correct notes today, impart a little bit of knowledge before on the other aspects of the game that he has picked up to be able to try and get the better of this game here. Earlier on, a little bit of a shower was coming down at the Baradar International Stadium, and it provided for some cool afternoon today. Other than the heat that we were encountering early in the morning, it's now come down into a little bit of a nice cool breeze that will take us through the 90 minutes. Same as Will Aweke Abraham and Mekonen Hailu in the Amari commentary, and I'm Bernardo Tieno in the company of Gilbert Selebwa to fly with you through the 90 minutes of this one. St. George pick it up, a quick ball up at the front. Abba Yaleo getting it down to Edo Kadunya. And an early onslaught that St. George want to make on the Fasil forward line. Many pundits have made it a clash that they think is going to be very low scoring, but that's usually just what is said off the field of play. We know that football is not logic, neither is it science, but we do know that sometimes it defies all odds. Gilbert, what's the expectation with a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3 formation? And with the games that you have watched of these two teams, what do you expect of this clash?
Well, this is a big clash, Bernard. Remember, 76 days ago, St. George lost to Fasil Kenema in Addis, 1-0, goal that was credited to Mujib Kasim. In this particular game this afternoon, Fasil have only made two changes, that is Enyu Kasahun and Bezab Meleu, from the team that beat St. George in Addis. St. George have gone through a transformation. They have only four players, that is Abdul Karim, Enoch, Desta Demu, and Abel Yalehu, a team that lost against St. George. So a team that is transforming against a team that is on the roll in this league.
Well, it's just how you then put your team together for the next match that becomes the success or the loss of your side. They've already started on a very fast pace on either side. We will wait to see whether that will be a pace that they will be maintaining right up to the end. Occasionally it looks like a suicidal pace where they start up. Here is Amsalu Tilahun. The referee says there's nothing there. Amsalu, get up. He missed the last game that they played just last week, and that is because he was serving suspension after 5 yellow cards. Plus he scored a very good goal as well in that game the last time he played. Another game that is in a contention for the top goals as well. And he burst into tears after that. Now we later on came to know the reason why. I think we'll now call it water under the bridge. He'd lost a friend who he calls a brother. Here is Guksa. Scored out one of the best goals, bringing it right across the face of goal here. Mujib not happy with himself, and very many other people will not be happy with the fact that this one just rolls across the face of goal. Mujib just didn't get it on time there. He's wondering why it was not put to him on his foot.
It's a good run.
When a striker starts getting, those reactions about why it's not put on his foot, you know he's getting frustrated.
It's a good run. It's a good run by Shimiket Guksa. In all the matches they've scored, they've actually scored from the same position, from a pass from the same man. So St. George at this particular point know that the most prominent pass on that field will definitely be Shemiket Guksa flying straight on the right-hand side of the attack.
Well, Fasil will also know that, and then they know that the crosses will be coming from that side. If he doesn't put them in the net himself, then they're going to have to help tap the balls in. Amsano Tilahun chips it down to Shimiket Guksa. He's going to be the go-to man, and I think it provides, in recent games that we have seen so far, provides a little bit of a decoy and takes away the attention from Mujib Kasim.
In fact, he complements Mujib Kasim very, very well. Both of them have scored 14 goals between Mujib Kasim scoring 12 and Shimiket Guksa scoring 2 goals.
Also, between them, they've scored 14 goals.
14 goals.
It's going to be back into the midfield, and Sirofel Daracho is another one that is being relied on to control the balls in the midfield. Amsalu is getting a little bit slow in his distribution of the balls, and he knows it. He's lost possession twice. Now he gets onto it, doesn't cross it as was expected. Adunya will pick it up for the St. George side. St. George third on the log at the moment, having played 12. They've won 7 of the matches, and then they lost 3 and drew 2. They have 26 goals, so they score many and concede, not a few, but almost the same. No, they've actually just conceded 16, so they have a goal difference of plus 10. If you compare it of the plus 14 of the Fasil side, Fasil have scored more goals and conceded less than. And some of these statistics, once the league has been decided on goal difference. Big run down on the right sside for Leo almost put it through the hands of Mikel Samake. For some reason, he just refuses to shake the net, and I don't know exactly why. Starts the run on the right side. It's a 2-on-3, and Leo decides to go on a solo effort. Yep, I think Samake makes it bounce on the ground a bit before it goes out of the field, Gilbert.
That's the way to do it from Leo, with good speed, very good technique, with power behind the ball. Anything from the goalkeeper drops back into play, and the ball is in the net.
There is a corner, 5 men in yellow going for it. The header goes on to the other side altogether. What speed they're starting with here. And Leo certainly, here he is again, Gilbert.
Oh, that was a good run. Good run. He lifts his chin up. He looks at the goalkeeper. The far post is where his target is. Again, Emmanuel Gabriel Michael just at the nick of time wanting to get into that position.
He was being chased by the captain, Yared Baye, who he had left for the dead as well. In spite of the fact that it's been raining briefly in Bahar Dar, he certainly was wanting him to show him a little bit of dust.
Apparently there was no dust, but
yeah, that's what I'm telling you. In spite of the fact that it's been raining, he wanted to show him some dust. Yeah, you have to listen to my statement, Gilbert.
Left for the dead.
No, there's no dead. So now you see where you're going. He wanted to show him some dust if there was going to be any. Adunya catches something on the face. I think the referee was close by there and might just be able to warn him here about the happenings on the field and tells him not to throw his fingers around. There's often that part of play where the inspection checks on the nails and everything else, because in a game like this and in any football game, your nails become razor-sharp weapons if they are longer than is required in the game. It's going to be offside here. And Abeliana will have to know how to time his runs. He's decided to go out in full speed, but that speed without control is going to waste him, unless he obviously can be able to control it. Samake plays it out. I would have expected, Gilbert, there's going to be a little bit of a crowd in the midfield, but the 3 on the St. George side is running more in front than staying in there.
I think they have 3 players at the top, Emmanuel Gabriel Michael and Abel Alehu, and of course with Getane Kebede. These are players who want the ball quickly, and therefore they will definitely avoid that midfield play and try to use the outside.
Adunya has given it away. And Fasil want to start a build-up with Amsalu. Shimikit will always obviously be on the right side. Doesn't get to it. Here's the captain now. Getane Kebede didn't manage to stay on the ball. Comes back to Barakat Desta. Yeah, we would expect a little bit of entertainment as well in a game like this one. And with St. George being a team that plays possession all the time, yeah, there's going to be a lot of dancing in and out. Adunya's got to work harder to get that ball away from the midfielders. And Barakat Desta and Surafel Danacho will definitely be wanting to stay longer on the ball. Goes out for a throw-in. Well, how do they let this happen? It's not yet out of the field of play. It just doesn't get to Mujib Kasim. And Abel Yaleo doesn't control it. The speed is going to get the better of all of them, Gilbert. They really need to, to control just how fast they're going with the ball.
Yeah, and at this point in time also, the ground is a little bit slippery, and therefore the ball moves a little bit more faster than its usual self.
Yeah, it will move faster. It will move faster. They need to control it as well. And that's why I think Abel Yaleo just couldn't place his foot on the ball. But also it gives a little bit of a good feeling on the ball when you're playing it on the field as well. Because it's not that dry, neither is it that wet. It's just the right kind of dampness for a good football game. St. George will be issuing instructions very early in this game. It's going to be a throw-in for St. George. Yeah, you occasionally see the name of St. George as Kidus Georgis. At that moment, when you pronounce it that way, you will already be speaking in Amharic. So I'm sure you have a couple of saints that you are known to, or that are known to you. You only need to add Kidus in front of the name of the saint, and you're already speaking Amharic. This is back into the midfield to Amsalo Tilahun. Long ball to Guksa. It doesn't get to him though. It's picked up in the midfield by Yesbira Tesfaye. So even those balls that are intended for Mujib Kasim, if they're not going to come from the midfield, they will work best only if they go to Guksa and if they come on to Bereket Desra on the left. But if they were going to Mujib, there's going to be a lot of interception on it.
There's going to be a lot of interception, especially through the midfield. And they've realized that the best way to go through that St. George or Kidus Georgios defense line is via the wing play.
Yeah, they're using it very well. It's going to be a throw-in. This will be given to the Fasil Kenema side. Fasil not too far away from the Bahar Dar side, so they probably are feeling like they are at home because they usually use this stadium as their home ground anyway. They've got some famous players who came from that area. Mengistu Warku, the legendary, is one of them. Luciano Vassallo and Yednekachu Tesema as well. And of course, being a team that also took part in the CAF Cup competition as Ethiopia Cup champions in 2018-2019, they have a little bit of a place of pride in the Ethiopian football. And currently leading the table, they want to be the runaway here. Guksa. Well, I should be saying Shimekit, because there are three Guksa brothers, Shimekit, Antene, and Cherinet. Absalu tries again to drop the ball into the box and into the net. It doesn't work this time around, but he's caught from a vantage position on his left foot, you know, in the last game that he took part in, Gilbert, from a little bit of a distance as well.
Yes, it was from the same distance. Actually, it was a game between Fasil and Sabeta, I think.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in the Sabeta game because he was suspended at that time. It is when they won 2-1 against
Awasa. Yeah, you're right.
That's where it was. After that, you know, he shed tears because of his friend, but then he was called by the elders who made him a mediator, we understand, over the conflicts that might come into that reason. But the goalkeeper is off the line. Mikel Samake mistiming this one, believing it's going to go out of the field of play, but not expecting that anybody else will capitalize on it. It's a very, very, very long ball.
It's a deep pass.
Yeah, it's a very deep one. But why did he think it's going to go out?
He knows that he had made a mistake. He knows he had made a mistake because Emmanuel Gabriel Michael was going to put that ball in the net.
Oh, is this coming back into the midfield? Jib Kasib waiting up at the front. I think the referee decides that this football is not of the correct pressure to be used in this game in the Premier League, and so opts for another one. Mahir David, watching on the side stands, just taking in every moment of the game as it comes. This is going to be the one that they will use now. It's going to be given to the Fasil side to take it. Here is the captain of the Fasil side. Taken into the midfield by Ebel Ndale. Making a quick dash for it. Dunya brings it all the way back into the midfield. Now I was thinking as well, Gilbert, that whoever controls that midfield by getting the correct passes into it might also getting the correct passes into it, might also have a very good time here. But I know it's going to be a game of very fast crosses as well. How quickly you get out of that midfield might be of a lot of, a benefit to you, and might just dictate how this game is going to be played.
Yes, it will definitely dictate the pace, and you've already realized that the ball is really not staying. It's just going through the midfield. It's not really staying too long in that midfield, and therefore the wing play on both sides.
So here, the referee spots an infringement here. I think there was an intention to try and shoot from the outside. There's a man who's already scored 10 goals for the St. George side. He's the captain of the side as well. He scored in the 28th in the match against Walkita. Match they won 4-3. He was one of the men on target. Yeah, looking for that midfield possession and pass to be able to get out of the half. Tilahun controlling it. It's really a combination of patience play and power play as well coming in on the Fasil side. And then the technical bit being employed when they're getting closer to the target. And I think for both sides, it's one of the big tests of how you can combine all those qualities down into one. Onto the side, try to bring it across from Shibakit Guksa. And this goes off the field of play for a corner, which is going to be for the Fasil side. 3 corners so far, only 15 minutes played. So there's just about 5 people who've been who've made themselves available in the box for the Fasil side. It's going to go out for a throw-in. This is going to be for Fasil. Koulibaly's got to rush back into his line of defense. He's a defender on the Fasil side. He had come out forward to just try and get the ball. Well, I might remind you as well that it's drizzling still on the field of play, so it slows down the game and it gets a little bit slippery as well. So don't be surprised if you see them not moving at speeds that you expect them to. Lovely ball for Abel Yaleo, that one.
That was a nice run, very, very nice run to Abel Yaleo. Only that the pitch, as we say, is being slippery and it's a little bit faster. I mean, allows the ball to move a little bit faster than most of the players do expect.
Yeah, you can hear it. That's actually the rain coming down. When it bumps onto the microphones, it's going to give you that sound. Don't adjust your set. It's not you. It's not the sound from your place. It's the boom mics that are picking that up. Oh, it's sounding like someone's pouring water on them as well. Are you sure it's just normal rain, Gilbert? Somebody's doing some adjustments to it, isn't it?
It's been dry for most part of the...
No, that's not even the point. It's the way it's hitting onto the microphones. Well, I'm going to have a chat with the sound engineer. I think he's pumping that sound a little bit too high up. Although you can see it on the field that it's raining. It's not just drizzling, it is actually raining. And they are in the field of it. It's the first time that we're seeing rain in a Premier League game since it came onto your screens on your World of Champions. Right from December. Long ball up at the front. The Malian goalkeeper, Mikel Samake, will get off his line to try and push it further forward. Here comes St. George, trying to get in from the right side as well. Adunya is opening up, trying to make himself available. Ashley Tamene doesn't get his pass completed to anyone. Here is Mujib. 1 touch, 2nd touch, and he loses it. He's a 3-touch man. So yeah. he knows when he's beaten and he can't do anything to that with that ball.
Yeah, when he doesn't get help, he's not much of any use if he doesn't get help.
Here is a shot! The goalkeeper quite unexpectedly just goes down for it. He wasn't expecting a shot to come from the outside. But Baru quickly gets himself into position.
That's a surprise shot.
It is going to be, and there's going to be a lot coming like that because they realize they can't get very close to the goalkeeper. They decide to test him from outside. What do you make of the game in 18 minutes played, Gilbert?
Well, I think both sides are of equal strength. They are both attacking. They've left the midfield area. They're attacking through the wings. On St. George side, they have Emmanuel Gabriel Mikael and Abel Yaleo. On Fasil Kenema side, Berket Desta and Shemiket Guksa are applying their trade.
Well, Bereket is going to be a handful to deal with. I thought it was going to be Surafel Danachu on the Fasil side, but Bereket certainly is making himself felt with the shots that he's taking also from outside. And Abel Yaleo on the St. George side is equally becoming a thorn. While you thought it would be Getane Kebede would be doing it, they both seem to have employed a little bit of decoy on the sides. St. George have it. Push down on the right side to Enoch Adunya. And then a little return ball that is picked up by Amsalu Tilaun instead. Well, Amsalu is going to have to be faster. And I think that's the only thing that needs to change. He's got to realize that today's game is going to be moving faster than all the other games they have played. This was picked up very easily by Ashley Otamene. He's then taking it up at the front. It's increasing in intensity, the rain. Plus it's coming with the wind as well. The cross, Samake just manages to get his body in between him and the post, and a shot again coming from the left side. How did he see this one, Gilbert?
Well, it's actually going to the near post. It's going to the very near post, Bernard. And truth of the matter is the strikers are going to enjoy. They're going to have a field day in this game this afternoon because of the wetness of the field. Going to have a very, very good field day today.
I think it's going to be a very difficult day. I'll tell you what has just happened to us here. I think I just had probably one of the most interesting times that I've ever had in commentary. I'll tell you for free, I just lost my team sheet. It's been blown by the wind that just came in behind us.
Yeah.
So Gilbert is going to be telling you what's going on as I try to retrieve another one, Gilbert. You get ahead with it.
Thank you, Bernard. I mean, it's very, very interesting times out here. I mean, we are up in the booth where there's a lot of wind, and Bernard Otieno just lost his team sheet. Therefore, I will take you through these final minutes just as he prepares to come. Adunya, Getane Kebede. Well, a tussle there from the midfield. That is Serafel Genachu. Again, he gets the ball out for a throw-in. It's pretty intense out there. The field looked very, very slippery, this one. But I think with the good surface that has been given to us by Bahir Dar International Stadium, it gives the players another avenue to be able to see whether they can be able to contend with the situation on the field. Abel Yaleo. Well, it's going to be a big tussle there. That is Jared Bai, the captain. And of course, the big man, not Niall Zaleke, coming in at the nick of time to try that attack. So throw in for Fasil Kenema by Amsalu Telahun. Pretty intense out there. Bezav Maleu, again, can't control the ball in these very difficult moments. Mujib Kasim drops back into the midfield, deep into the midfield, come and get the feed from there. But again, the slippery pitch taking a toll on some of the players who are not very well adapted to this kind of surface. Well, I think Bernard has been able to retract his paperwork.
What happened while I was away, Gilbert?
Nothing really happened. I mean,
are
the
you
same
sure?
thing, yes.
Last time I
didn't
left
take
you,
your seat.
Last time I left you in charge of some stuff back where we are staying. You know what you did to them. You got very generous and distributed everything.
Yeah.
So you've been distributing the information as
Yeah,
well?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
No, that's good of you. Very kind of you as well. I actually had to retrieve another team sheet because the wind just came into the commentary booth, believe it or not, because it's blowing past the stadium in Bahar Dar. And it's going to make those statistics on the passes, get a little bit less. It's the very first time that we're seeing this kind of rain in a game of football in the Ethiopian Premier League. So this goes off the field of play. It's going to be a corner. Very hard to play in this weather, Gilbert. Very hard. It changes the dynamics of the game. It's no longer about what you're trained about. You didn't train in the rain. It's just that you have to adapt to the conditions.
Yeah, a lot of things that are happening. Even the vision is impeded.
It's impeded a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be Abel Yaleo. Big one onto the left side. A foul here. It is going to be a free kick. Oh, it's coming down heavy. It's coming down heavy. But you know the rules of football. And for the fans, this is that time that you have to really prove that you are a die-hard fan. Come rain, come shine. You know those things you always say. Come rain, come shine, I'll be there for you. Wow, this is those moments. Look at the fans also just keeping themselves warm by jumping up and down and singing and dancing in the process. You only wish that they could be rewarded by something in the field of play as Fasil pick it up down onto the left side. Now Guksa has changed the wings, Gilbert, hasn't he? He's come onto the left side.
Yes, they're changing wings with Bereket Desta just to see exactly at which point they can be able to get the proper attack.
Oh, this is, no, it's not going to get to the intended Getane Kabede. There's just two of them going up at the front. It's going to be slippery. Guksa, there's two of them out on the right side. Mujib is asking for it and he gets it. He's got power. He pumps this one towards goal. Not enough to trouble Baru Negash.
Well, they had 3 against 2 in the attack. Mujib, that's a baby shot. That is not a shot that would be troubling Baru Negash in the St. George goal area.
Yeah, I think Mujib Kasim needed to probably get closer or play a 1-2. But then again, it happens very quickly when you're in that field. You never know exactly when you should play what. It's gonna be given as
water break.
It's been stopped for a water break. Now stop imagining that because it's raining they don't need a water break. The dehydration is on the inside, it's not on the outside. I think the coach will take the opportunity to also give a little bit of information to what he thinks his team should play. Still 0-0 in a very epic clash that many people have said if Fasil wins, then it might just be an indication that they are going to win the league as well. They would want to win the league. It doesn't work that easily though. They still have to work it on the field of play. But we got a 1-minute water break. What do you make of the game so far?
Well, I think the stats that we've seen in the last 5 games that both teams have played against each other is that Fasil coming to this game loaded with a lot of confidence, because in the last 4 games, St. George has failed to beat Fasil. They've only drawn twice, 2-2 and 1-1, Fasil winning 1-0 and also winning 3-0. So in terms of confidence, Fasil are in this game with a lot of confidence, and also for the fact that also they are number 1 on 29 points and
on the log. Yeah, Maher Davids is cognizant of all those statistics, and he would rather be looking at the statistics on the St. George side, and he thinks that being in the 3rd position with 24 points, they could still get to 27 if they take 3 out of this one. Thinking about 3 years without a title, they are seriously thinking of being contenders. Right now, the teams that are contending for it are 3 in the very obvious positions at the top, and that is Fasil, Ethiopia Buna, and St. George. Well, now there's also Hadi Osaina, who has joined the list of the teams with points over 20. They have 23, so they're the top 4 at the moment. The mid-table teams would be Bahar Dar, Wolkite, Hawassa, Sebeta, and Wolaita. Then you could include Diradawa there, but there's Sidama Buna, Jima Bajifar, and Dadama right at the bottom of it. Samake will be getting ready to start this one. I think the rain looks like it's letting off a bit, but it's still drizzling. It's going to be taken by Baru Negash. We'll start it for St. George. Now, any slight mistake in a situation like this becomes very, very punishable by either side if they take the possession. It's played onto the left side. So they're probably going to resort back into pushing the balls around for the sides, trying to find the avenues to use. I don't know if it's Fasil is the kind of team that would be duped into coming out of their zone, Gilbert, into coming out of their midfield comfort and to try and pick up the balls in that place.
Well, I wouldn't think so, because if you look at the goal against Fasil, they've only conceded 10 goals. And the only other team that has conceded the least number of goals is Hadi Osaina, having conceded only 6 goals. So in terms of conceding, they are not.
Well, the good thing about
yeah.
St. George is they also score a lot of goals. No, not a lot, but they win easily. Here is Samake. Now, the slippery conditions will provide a different dynamic every time, and that's how Samake lost that ball from his grasp. Picking it up only on the second chance. Getane Kebede working the ball. What would ordinarily be a very easy ball to be picked up by the very tall Samake Mikel, then hits onto himself. Mujib is looking for this one. First touch is good. Second touch is given it to Guksa. And now he's telling them to calm down and build it towards goal. They've got Surafel Donachu in the midfield. Looking for a 1-2 that becomes elusive. Oh, the St. George fans making themselves very hard. Guksa with Fasil picking it up again. It's just about 12 fans, but the boo that they could give to the opposing team becomes a very loud one. And also the appreciation they give to their team becomes very, very loud and audible. Shimekit brings it back to his captain. Yeah, he took a little long for the takeoff. This is going to be offside. Partly because Surafel Donachu came off an offside position to pick up that ball. Yeah, he did come off from there. You see him at the left of the picture there. By the time he's coming to him, he's offside. And even coming back to pick it up is not going to help you at that point, is it, Gilbert?
Well, I think it's just frustrating. An initial pass that should have gone to him didn't go to him, and therefore he was just coming out slowly walking.
Slowly walking?
Yeah, walking
That's called whiling the time. He was just whiling the time there.
You've just given up, and okay. And then the ball comes back to you unexpectedly.
Okay. Could also just have been perambulating there. This is the Nacho. Surafel has got one man to take care of. A second one joins in. Anuka Dunya will claim that he's got some pain from a knock, but he's the one who was taking a clearance, so we get a chance to see it again. Yeah, probably burns himself as well. Thank God for shin guards, I always say, because you know the kind of pain. He gets a knock on the knee though, but he hits the back of Shimeket Guksa. But he comes out the worst of that tackle.
Look at the intention of Guksa. You know, that's an open foot.
No, but Guksa was just going for the ball, Gilbert. It's Adunya who was clearing that ball. It's not Guksa at all. Because I think Adunya was just going to clear the ball, and what happened is that Guksa gets there before him. Here it is again.
Look at that one. That open foot.
Okay,
yes,
okay. But you know, he actually gets a knock on the knee as well. Yeah. He knocks himself onto Guksa behind. But Guksa is going in very hard. In spite of the fact that he scores goals, you know, he also picks up yellow cards very easily. I don't think there's anything in this one. But in the 72nd minute, he also picked up a yellow card. Oh, here is Mr. Betnet. You know him, don't you? The St. George president. Didn't want to miss this clash here. It's often good to be accompanied by your officials. You know, it buoys the team a bit when you see the president of the club and president of the board come and watch the game. You often wish that other clubs could emulate the same as well. Oh, Fasil being the nearest of the teams, you'd have expected that the entire office would probably be here for them. But you know, again, it depends on the priorities of the clubs and how they're performing, because Fasil has been performing anyway. So it's not a big deal. So it's gonna be on the left side. And this is back to the goalkeeper. So, you know that it's often good to also have your fans, but this is going to go back to the goalkeeper here. Fasil is one of those teams that is getting accustomed to playing without fans at all and getting any words from their fans. But they probably are in a better place like that because their fans were suspended for not chanting the correct things. Don't ask me for details of what they were chanting, but they were chanting things that were deemed not very good for football. They were suspended. The officials apparently are supposed to address that altogether. Those are administrative issues that come from being in the Federation office. It's back into the field now, with Chimekit Guksa coming far into the defense, deep to try and pick up the loose balls. Adunya. And then Abo Endali makes everybody else have a run for it. The fans quite happy about it and giving it a round of applause every time St. George is on the ball. This is not going to do anything to Mikel Samaki. It's not going to help him. It's not going to challenge him. It's not going to do anything.
Well, Emmanuel Gabriel Merkel, there's a good run, cuts back to his very, very important and solid foot, the right foot, and expected the technique to help him out. But he just laughs it off. He knows that he did a mistake. Should have directed the ball.
Got a good touch on it, no accuracy on it. If you were to look at the other way around, he spoils an otherwise very good run that should have been ending at least with a shot on target. It's back in the midfield. This one is an attempt to lift it to Mujib Kasim. He's going to be intercepted by St. George and sent out for a throw-in. Mujib Kasim Hamza. At one point he played for Awasa, and another point he played for Adama as well, but he finally has found a home in the Fasil side, for which he has already scored 12 goals. He was in contention for the top goal scorer even as we were coming to the very last day of the first leg, but Abubakar Nasser of Ethiopia Buna side has overtaken him and has already started opening up the gap of that challenge. Maybe the second half will provide the challenge. Again, you know that Fasil doesn't score many goals in their wins. This is Amsalu Tilaun. Totally doesn't get a touch on that ball. He was going to get a very hard boot on it, Gilbert, but they always say that if you don't make contact, the danger is real. It even, swinging your foot to injury proportions, because there is the calculation of the force you're going to put in there. If you don't find an opposing force when you're swinging your leg, a lot of things can go wrong.
Or you can easily dislocate your knee.
You can.
Yeah.
You can pull something or the other. This is Mikel Samake. Just plays it safe by sending it off the field of play. Goalkeeper on the other side was also forced to do the same. The Malian has been very solid in goal for the Fasil side. Only conceded 10 goals in the entire league. Just going to go back all the way to him to start the build-up. Do you think Mahir has something urgent to tell the team now?
Well, I think the most important thing is to try and slow down the game and pick the right moments, the right kind of a pass to be able to move forward, because they're in a hurry. And once you're in a hurry, you make a lot of mistakes.
You do?
Yeah.
So you need to take your time and build it up correctly. Down on the left side for St. George, then pumped into the box. I don't know who has the last touch on this one. The referee says it's going to go out for a goal kick. I think it's the correct decision there, because
you
see it. Yeah, it's Abo. It's Abo Bieleu who had a touch on it. Played 82 minutes against Walkite and also 82 against the Dama. Often doesn't finish the game. Talking about Abo Bieleu. Here is Guksa. She make it. Looking for where to get the ball to. Down on the right side now. This would be Berkat Desta, who's been rolling on that side so often. Well, play to the whistle. Get the ball first and appeal to the referee. But you can't stand appealing to the referee and the play is moving on. Because when you don't get anything out of it, you'll also have lost a chance to have retrieved the ball. And that's exactly what has happened to Fasil now, isn't it, Gilbert?
Yeah, in fact, the ball was just in close proximity. He would have gone to that ball at that particular point. That was Surafel Dinachu.
Happily, it has stopped raining. It's just 1 or 2 drizzles now that are coming down, but not one that can stop you from playing good football on the surface as well. That's the foul, for style. I think Aptamo Tekeste was going to get over the opponent very easily. And the opponent just decides to get onto the chest of Aptamo to make sure that he's not going away.
That youngster, to me, Aptamo Tekeste, is one of the best holding midfield in the top 10 football.
Oh, he's playing good football, isn't he?
Yes, he wins possession of the ball. He doesn't stay too much on the ball. He never loses possession of the ball, and he does his work quietly.
Well, Surafel also does his work, although he's very loud in the midfield. It's going to be a goal kick that is going to be for the St. George side. Oh, Siom Kebede must be having the last laugh here. The first game when he was playing in Addis Ababa. And the second game that he played had some fans chanting against him, but he has proven them wrong by being on top of the league and opening up a very big gap between him and the second place Ethiopia Buna. He has a chance to still do it today again. It's going to be I think there's something wrong with the footballs, because that's about the third one that is being removed from the game altogether. I think the only thing to do is to make sure they just don't come back into the game, because the balls will keep throwing them back in unless they are totally removed from the field of play. That's the absolute problem here. I think the fourth official should take charge of that, because we can't keep stopping the game because of the pressure on the footballs. And
I think the weight of the balls have changed because of the soaking some water.
No, it's not. They started changing balls even before it started raining. It's just that they are underweight for some reason. It's not the first time we've seen this. In another game as well, just recently, there was the issue of changing of the balls. But in this particular game, I think the same footballs are being, rotated in the game, because the balls are not getting them all away. They're still giving back. Every time the ball goes out, they give back the same footballs that don't have the correct weight. So this is going to be a corner. In as much as we got a man on the ground, Albo Yaleo was trying to get the better of Guksa, and Guksa just lands on his foot there. Yeah, it's painful. I don't know why Guksa is saying I didn't do anything there. We know what he did. He lands on him. There it is, and bumps onto his boot. And Guksa is still complaining that I didn't do anything. What were you doing to me? Oh, there's got to be a lot of pain on Abo Yaleo there. When a weight comes onto your foot, and your foot is not in the natural position, the pain becomes unbearable sometimes. Well, I don't think you can make this up, Gilbert. I mean, there are times when you can be able to do it that way, but I don't think there's anything else. This is the player Samuel Johannes is on the bench. Oh, that's a man who takes care of the children in that orphanage. We had a chance to visit that as well. We've had a little bit of a good time playing a 7-a-side match there. I'll tell you the results another day. Mr. Aseked is the man who takes care of that place where these little children and others do live in. It's at the Child and Family, it's a Bayardar Child Care Center. A man on the ground, I don't think he's going to be coming back.
No.
Not after staying for that long. Here it is again. And Shibeke now knows. Look, he bumps onto him, and, there. He puts all his weight on
the ankle.
Abel Yoleo's left foot.
Yeah,
anything
ankle.
happens there. You could spray it, anything. But this is the part I don't like most, where Guksa is asking, what happened here? I didn't do anything here. Yet he knows very well that he put all his weight there. Players, for some reason, fall and put all their weight on the other players. And this might just force Abel Yoleo out of the field of play. you know, it just means that they might have to make a change that they hadn't planned here.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, he bumps onto that foot. And as long as it takes a different kind of shift from the normal, you run the risk of, you know, breaking anything else, the tibia and fibula. This is going to be a foul. This will be given to the Ethiopia Coffee side. Mujib Kasim was trying to get into a flying tackle. He didn't. And another player tried to go into it as well, Kadir Koulibaly. And it seems to be the one who has been hurt. We'll have a chance to see it again. Kadir is trying to go for it there. It catches the boot of, I think, Keno Kadunya in his face. Here it is again, from a close range. Kadir's coming in. Yeah, that boot of Keno Kadunya goes into him.
Yeah. It actually hits it in his mouth.
Yeah, got a chance to see it again, yeah, but it's not as hard as Kadir Koulibaly made it look. Well, here he is, got in well very quickly. Just a little touch on it. Oh, players sometimes are very good actors. He made it look like, you know, it's a matter of life and death in that box on that touch. Here comes St.George now. Kadir Koulibaly, the defender on the Fasil side. Back into the box, and then again they want to come out with it. Oh, we played 45 minutes already. Can you believe it, Gilbert?
The game has just literally moved fast.
Well, I think we concentrated so much on the rain, and then when now the game started moving fast, then we probably just got caught up in the rhythm. What do you make of it now that we're playing 3 minutes of added time?
Well, both sides have abandoned the midfield play, and they've decided to utilize the wing play. Well, we've got the wingers bringing in the crosses, but again, the crosses have not been to point. So, really, lack of firepower on both sides in the first half.
Oh, the whistle goes for a foul. At the same time, a change has been made, and they brought in Adis Gidey for Abeli Aleo. Abeli Aleo injured and couldn't come back. So Adis Gidey will come in for him. He usually comes in late in the game. In the 82nd minute is when he came against Wolkite. I do remember in one match he played also just for 8 minutes. So today he's going to have more play. But that's because Abeli Aleo is injured. He's headed out by the captain of the Fasil side. Yared by just making sure that he's the one keeping the defense in position. Kadir Koulibaly blocking this one. And this one punched away by Mikel Samake. He knows the danger of trying to hold that ball at about this time when it's wet. It might just bounce off his chest and go somewhere else.
It's good goalkeeping. It's good goalkeeping. Again, Emmanuel Michael from the right-hand side with a good deeping shot. And that's the only way to parry those kind of balls out.
Well, they opted for a short corner. Running down on the left side, looking for a chance to bring it across. Who's got the last touch here? It must be on St. George. It must be on Emmanuel Gabriel Michael, the provider-in-chief for the St. George side from the left side. He's doing a good job. Occasionally getting stopped in his tracks, but he is doing the way it's supposed to be done. And comes onto the St. George side. They've tried as much as they can to stick to their defensive formation, so they've not been losing it. But sometimes midfield play makes it very difficult for everybody to stay in defense when you're needed to join the attack. Well, that's a foul with that tackle coming from behind. I think the whistle at halftime as well. Oh, not yet then. There it is. Yeah, that's the whistle at halftime. So this Tewodos Mitiku brings it to an end in the first half. That has been marred by the rain, but made it very difficult for them to be able to control the ball, play to their own pace, slow down the pace of the game. Now that the rain has let off a bit, maybe the second half will be slightly better. You know what it is, how differently he might be able to play today. Up at the front, just to be able to salvage the results of the team today. But there's still 45 minutes to be played, Gilbert, so there's going to be a lot that they have to do in these 45 minutes. There's obviously going to be a little bit of change in the way they play if we think about what they must have discussed in the dressing room.
Well, I think the surface itself, Bernard, I can tell you it's very good, especially for midfield play, because if you have technical players, you want them to at least knock the ball around as they move progressively. The wider side of the pitch, anytime you give a pass, it's always faster than the player on the field.
But it's always good to warm up the muscles, eh? And even the fans know that before the second half, they must warm up a bit. Samake has done his bit in warming up. He's got to change sides now. And yeah, the tibia and the fibula, the longer and the two big bones on your leg need to be able to support the muscles that come with it as well. And in the cold that comes with the rain as well, you can only stay warm by, warming up a bit. Jumping up and down and singing and dancing is a good way of doing it. For the players, they'll have to get onto the field of play and do it from there. I think we're just waiting for the return onto the field of everybody before this gets into a start. They are warming up Haida Sharifa on the St. George side. Looking like they will want to bring him into the game. I'm not sure who they will want to bring out from this, but 46 minute substitution is what it's looking like. It's Abel Ndale who's going to be going off the field of play, and Abel Ndale will be making way for Haida Sharifa. What do you make of that substitution, Gilbert? It's a midfielder for a midfielder.
Well, I'm not sure why they pulled him out. I'm not sure why they pulled Abel Ndale out, because he was playing as a holding midfielder. The man that they brought into play, that is Haida Sharifa, is an attacking midfielder. So maybe we're going to see more progress moving upward for St. George.
But that makes it very evident that they want to attack. They want to push forward other than, just stay back and take in everything that is coming in their direction. So that substitution has already been made in the 46th minute of the game. And Haida Sharifa is on the field of play for St. George. Zeno Kaldunya gets the better of the move on the right side. Aweke Abraham and Mekonen Hailu are the men for you in the English commentary. Rather, in the Amharic commentary. In the English commentary is Barado Tiedo. And I am together with Gilbert Salebo to take you through this one. So getting out to the right side, and we are going to be watching out to see if there's any visible, very, very tangible change that they have made, or whether they've just come back to play the same way as they did in the first half. But we know that the rain has let off a bit. Salu Tilahun. Yeah, still the same thing we have to say. He's going to have to be faster. Otherwise, he'll lose possession. He's going to make decisions very fast.
Yes, the game is faster. And I think the good thing about the teams is that they have highly technical players. Now they need to move the ball faster with 2 touches. 1 touch is not possible.
The field is a little bit heavy. What that means is that it's soaked in the water. Oh, this is going to be a foul. Very unnecessarily coming from Enyeu Kasahun. Oh, he gets a yellow card. He got one in the 88th minute against Wokite. Now he's picked one in the 46th minute for just tackling from behind. He really wasn't going for the ball here. It's very the way he has, because it comes with a knee, it comes with the boots as well, it comes with a push on the back. The fall is never controlled. I'm not exactly sure how he gets the goal, but the energy in the very first few minutes of the second half to be able to do that. What do you think Maher Davids must have told him at halftime?
Well, the same thing that we discussed towards the end, just being patient with the build-up, giving the passes when it is necessary, and playing a little bit faster when they get into the opponent's half.
Let's see if that is going to be the expected change in which they will execute into this game. But ultimately, Emmanuel has been allowed into the field of play. Adunya is taking off in full flight with Mujib chasing it. He plays it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Baru Negash then starts it on the left side. Well, you know those are going to be the St. George fans booing every move by the Fasil side, but then applauding every move by the St. George side. Quite expected as well. Adis Gidey just flings himself on the ball there. He wasn't really going to get any tangible, any tangible connection there, any tangible possession. He wasn't going to get it. He just flings himself on it.
Yeah, he knew he had already lost possession, and coming out up against one of the best central defenders I would define in Yared Bay in the Ethiopian League. Sometimes you have to outwit him to be able to beat him.
This was intended for Adunya. He gets off the field of play. Mujib is shielding it, looking for support. On his third touch, he sends the ball at least to a teammate. And now Fasil will be forced to also be patient enough in their build-up. Good ball up at the front. Oh, they're trying to punch this to Mujib Kasim, but it was not a very well-informed move by Enyeo Kasahun. Should have taken his time a bit and probably weighted the pass and also, looked at any other options available.
Yes, Bernard, and especially in the final third, that is where you need to exercise a lot of patience. Because the ball is moving fast, therefore you need to have two touches to be able to give the correct pass.
Sister Mujib appealing for a handball. It's not given. And Adunya brings it to Haida Sharifa. Then a long ball down on the right side, but it's only Salutila who will get to it, tries to get it back to his goalkeeper. It's already rolled off the field of play. Samake need not appeal it. Just go back to your line and wait for it there. Yeah, they fling very heavy words. The whole of that ball has crossed the line.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious.
So there was no need to appeal it. Even as Salutila was complaining, that's a little bit of a back heel, but it's taken over by the goalkeeper, Samake Mikel. Doesn't trouble him at all. Of all the technical players and of all the players who've been making inroads up at the front, Emmanuel Gabriel Michael has been the man who is doing most of the work up there.
Yeah, he's been the go-to man in the attack. He's plying his trade both on the left-hand side of the attack. He has got very good speed. He is an import from Mekele 70, and having been a top scorer on 19 goals in last season. Very, very prime player for St. George.
Oh, so now they can import locally.
Yes, he's an imported.
I thought imports come from outside of the country. But Mekele is well, okay.
It's up north.
They got him from another club. I don't think
He wasn't there as initially.
No, absolutely
so it's
not.
an importation.
No, it's not. An importation must come from out of the country into another country. Otherwise, how does it qualify as an importation? He's just a player they got from another club. Anyway, from Mekele, one of the clubs that didn't join the league, together with Walwalo and one other, and whose players were allowed to go to other clubs. And they made a soup for him. It's Fasil now with Shibakit Guksa. Exactly what we're saying they should do. Bid your time and look around and look for the opportunities and look for the options to use as well, other than being in a hurry all the time to send the ball forward. This is a better idea. Here is a turn. It doesn't come to Mujib because it's chipped by the time the player is turning around. And so he's not looking at exactly where Mujib is, but he's hoping that the ball goes into the box, Gilbert.
Yeah, that's a good turn. It's a good turn actually from one of the midfielders on the Fasil Kenema side. Only that he didn't hit the target with that 360 turnaround.
Dunya will send it to the center. So it's going to be a handball on Adis Gide. Yeah, that was a good one, but turning to 360 doesn't just get it to Mujib Kazim. It actually came onto the foot of the defender, who pushed it out very quickly, knowing the danger that comes with it as well. Wow, Mujib's long stop sends the ball all the way back. Zamsalu Tilahun tries to bring it to the center. Dunya intercepts it. Then to Shimekit Gugsa. So they want to start it all the way back with their own side. Don't be surprised if they bring it all the way back to the goalkeeper. It's a hallmark of the Ethiopian game. They don't mind starting the build-up all over again. This is going to be offside, regardless of how Bereket Desta was going to be running diagonally. That's what he attempted to do. Mujib was trying to get into position as well. Yeah, he's taken off slightly earlier. Yeah. And he tries to run back diagonally, but he can't get to that. It's too late. He should have let Mujib go on his own, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should. Bereket Desta should have let Mujib go. That was a very, very high line that is being deployed by Kidus Georgis.
So it adds on to the statistics of four offsides in total in this game. Has been given to the Fasil side. Skabede. He's got two men challenging him. Loses the ball very easily. Goes down very easily as well. Good decision by referee Tewodros Mitiku to play on. Amsalu. Oh, he had two minds of whether to go behind or even to shield the ball and move forward with it. The result is that he stayed stationary and gets bumped in from behind from Adis Gide. So the progressive play is becoming very elusive for Fasil Gilbert. It's not going as per their plan. But also the St. George side is not coming out of the midfield very easily.
They've both slowed down the game. I think it's because of not getting used to that surface. And therefore just trying to slow the ball down and waiting for the right moment to be able to give a good pass.
They've got to adapt to it. In fact, the team that will adapt to the conditions of the field at the moment will be the most successful of the two sides. This is going to be a throw in here. Well, they're actually appealing for a foul, although there wasn't any. Yeah, the cross has already been taken. It's a long one going to Bereket Desta. It goes all the way to the other side. It's going to be a throw-in from the other side of the field. Nil-nil the scoreline in one of the biggest marches of the second leg. And it's still going to come out bigger because I think that Fasil's next game is going to be against Ethiopian Buna. And for St. George, their next game is going to be against Diredawa. So Fasil have very tough games that are lined up for them. And St. George are playing an improving side as well in Diredawa.
Bernard, to win championships, you must be able to beat the big teams.
To be a champion.
To be a champion, and St. George is one of the big teams. They thought of Bono, not that big team that you need to take points.
So who has to beat them?
Whoever wants to win the league.
Ah, okay. That's what you're saying. For you to be a champion, you must be ready to take on the big teams.
Yeah.
Well, these two must be able to take on each other as well. Fasil and St. George and Ethiopia Buna, together with one other. The big four at the moment on the logs. So
Sadia.
Yeah, with Hadia.
Yeah.
So then, incidentally, they were all going for draws in the most recent of times. So we'll see then who takes the 3 points, because those become very crucial points in a game like this one. Shimekit Gugsa chips it again. Too long. I mean, it's not where Mujib wants it. It goes too far off. There's nobody running on that right side. I think he apologizes for that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he apologizes. He's already getting into the 18-yard box, a prime area for you to be able to finish as a good team, and he fluffs the pass that was intended to Mujib.
Goalkeeper comes off his line, but with that, there might be a little bit of trouble here. Just that the ball doesn't take the right elevation from a shot coming from outside of the box. Mujib Kasim Hamza with 12 goals rather, 5 from the penalty spot, is not getting onto the target so often. In fact, we could look at just how far away he was on target in terms of scoring. Today's 7 shots have not favored him at all. Goes back into the midfield. Yeah, the ball's moving a little bit faster because of the slippery surface. So much so that Enyeo Kasahun couldn't get to it. His opposite, number 2, Abdul Karim Mohammed, is the one who takes it. Well, Abdul Karim makes himself available and pushes the ball into the midfield to Haida Sharifa. Oh, that's going to be a very big kick that has been executed there. I think he wanted to, curve the ball a bit so that it spins as it's coming onto this other side. But even the spinner has some technique that is applied on the ball for it to work. And Niall Zeleke didn't have it working for him. Guksa Shimekit. Leave it in here. And a very hard-fought ball for possession. The correct decision made here to send the ball forward. This is the one that didn't get in there at all, Gilbert.
That's good defending. That's a very good defending from Ashalao Tumene on the St. George side. He kept his cool and just looked at the ball and put his body in between the ball and the striker.
It's going to go out of the field for a throw-in. It's going to be for the St. George side. Good 1-2 combination gets the ball out in favor of the St. George side with Getani Kebede in the midfield. Changing the wing onto the left side. The speed of Abdul Karim Mohammed doesn't help him out. He doesn't get a better ball out of that. He's going to run back into his position. He loves to rove on the left side. He's always being covered by the defenders, so he doesn't stay so much in the left back position. Well, advantage play given here for the Fasil side. Salutila has it. There's more men coming up at the front for Fasil. Chimekin Kuksa should have put that on the chest. He needed to. It doesn't come any better than that. He should have put it on the chest, put it down, and looked at where to play it. He's in a very prime position to chest it down.
I mean, the uniforms are very distinct.
Yeah.
He's in white and red and playing against orange, and he decides to play a back pass to the goalkeeper.
Okay, what is your reference to the uniform? You mean he should know who to play the ball to?
Yeah, he should have played taken a shot by himself or played to that man on the ball.
Here is Mujib. They're looking for a chance to take it. Bareket Desta doesn't get that chance, but they still pick it up not too far away. Adunya will run to it. Oh, playing very dangerously in the area. The goalkeeper, Baru Negash, gets it out. Looking for a handball here and getting it from the captain of the side. Yored Bai is trying to intimate that, he didn't quite handle the ball. I think he gives up when he sees the referee's face. This is what happened. There it is, and then look at the ball going to his chest, he claims. But it changes direction. It must have got it onto his left hand. It's a difficult angle to be able to make that decision from, and the referee just made it from one angle. So you can imagine you and I get 2 chances to see it. Shimekit Guksa now powering Mujib Kasim, but not getting the ball ahead of him. He can also look on the sides and give the ball out on the side before he's trying to make it so obvious that he wants Mujib on target.
Yeah, you know, the worst thing about this kind of surface is that the player wants ball to fit. That is the best way to give a pass. But if you want to play the normal type of play, giving the balls in the space, they will definitely get a mind of its own.
Barunega should send it up at the front. Oh, Samake. Oh, you didn't notice what happened to Samake there. He actually lost his footing before he went for that ball. And even if he gets a little touch from the striker, Samake already had lost his footing as he was going to take this ball. He takes off. You know, there he is. He is down on the ground and was almost being taken over by Addis Gidey. But Addis also touches on the goalkeeper, and that will occasion him a little bit of harm. And Samake will need some medication before. On top of his head, apparently, is where Addis Gidey caught him with a boot. They only have Yidnekachu Kidane on the bench as a goalkeeper. Most of the time, Leal Birhanu, 8 matches that he has played, but has given way to Barunegash to at least have a start to this game. Samake doesn't feel very comfortable. He seems to be intimating that he's feeling a little bit of dizziness. And there's a couple of other players of Fasil on the bench who are not playing today. There's Saeed Hussein on the left side and a couple of others as well. And another goalkeeper, Getnet, you remember him. So a couple of players have been out on the bench because of injuries. So instead there's Yidnekachu Kidane instead of Getnet. There it is again. Did he catch him with a boot on the head? Yeah, as he scraps his foot onto him. You know, small things that players do that have a lot of they're happy that Samake is back, but he's still clutching onto his head here. 2 saves he has made here, and has had a good percentage of ball distribution. Already giving instructions, but he's still holding onto his upper lip. Well, happily for the Fasil side, he's back into the game. Has started it, trying to push it forward. Tiny little nasty tackles, Gilbert. They will slow down the game. They will occasion unnecessary injuries. They will not get you the best of a flowing game.
They will. They've really stopped both teams from executing the midfield play. And I think it's time for them to be able to avoid that midfield, because that is where there is crowd, and on the outside there is less traffic. But the passes must be to feet and not in space.
But how will they get to the sides and to the widths if they don't use the midfield? Because it's got to come from the midfield. It can't come from the goalkeeper and the defenders all the way forward.
The time that is spent in the midfield is what is very, very key in this one. They should spend very little time in the midfield.
Oh, here they are now. And Barakat Dessa loses it. St.George come out with it. Kenea Makane was trying to get the usual runs from Enoch Adunya on the right side, but for some reason it didn't go as planned. Suzam Salu Tilahun trying to get into a 1-2 combination. Destro is the man to go to, and then Sirafel Getachew tries to join them quickly when they have the ball. Dunya just lost possession there, didn't have a touch at it. But he still got the benefit of the throw-in. Now St. George coming forward. Amsalu getting in the middle of it all to deny Panikebede a chance to pick up that one. We haven't had much of progressive play in front of goal, Gilbert. We are seeing a lot in the midfield, which you're saying should be avoided. But we're not seeing much in front of goal, are we?
Yeah, the feed has not been right. All the balls are played in the midfield, and then once it gets to the final third, that is where both teams are losing the ball.
Here is Getani Kebede, tries a shot from outside. His opposite captain is the one who has a touch on it. Oh, they tried to get Mujib Kasim onto this, but he was running already. He was already veering off onto the left side. Baru Negash will bring it back. Bereket Desta. And then brings it back onto the right side to Enyeo Kasahun. Gugsa and Kasahun exchanging passes, but not very accurate ones. Neither does the St. George side give accurate passes, so they also lose it in the middle. The complete passes, 278 for Fasil and 288 for St. George. They're equally playing a passing game. And even the execution, in terms of completing them, is almost matching one-on-one in terms of percentages. So no one has the advantage on that one from either side. Pero Kadunya will get it out on the right. And then we'll try to get back into position. Getani Kebede, the advantage has been given. Adunya brings it across. Kasahun comes out with it. Still trying to find it to Mujib. And now he gets the support coming from behind him. And Salo brings it to Bereket Desta. Goes for a shot that is sent off the field of play for a corner. An easy one for Baru Negas to deal with.
It's an easy one. It's well directed. Good shot from Bereket Desta from a distance. And the goalkeeper does the wisest thing. Look at Gugsa is just right ahead of him just in case he makes a mistake.
So it's going to be a corner. This is headed out by Abdul Karim Mohammed. They haven't taken it very far, and there's so many yellow jerseys behind the ball. In fact, there's literally all the yellow shirts in their own half. Not moving too far out. But I guess the way the game is being played at the moment has even silenced the fans. They do not have a created song for this kind of ball play that we're seeing on the field at the moment.
Yeah, they've taken it. It's taken away their goal butt, and both on the field of play and.
Bede latches onto a ball that has been gotten off a mistake by the defenders of the Fasil side. This is Getani Kebede, blocked by Samake Mikel. The second round goes over. Mikel saying, keep watch on what's going on out there.
I'm telling you, that's one of the best technical players. That is Getani Kebede. He looks up, and with the power that deserves it, the ball is actually moving towards a downward projection, and that's a very good reflex action from Samake in goal.
A good strike and a good save as well. And a compliment to the left back Amsalu Tilahud by the goalkeeper. This is Kadir Koulibaly. He was limping all the way from the midfield where he had the last tackle before the St. George side took possession and tried to go for a shot. Getani Kebede obviously executing a good one. And a good save as well from Mikel Samake. But Kadir Koulibaly got injured in an earlier move just before that shot that was coming from Getani Kebede. And has just been helped by the Malian goalkeeper, Samake Mikel, to get back onto his feet. Oh, they're making another substitution then. Nathaniel Gabre-Georgis, the scorer of 2 goals for the Fasil side, has come into play. And whose place has he taken, Gilbert? Is it Bereket Desta?
Bereket Desta, yeah, has been pulled out.
Oh, Bereket.
Yeah, he's
scored in the 11th minute against the Hawassa side, and played only 88 minutes against the Sebeta side. So today he's played only 72 minutes. Bereket Desta, for some reason, not being given the entire game. Maybe for good reason. Just maybe that he doesn't finish it with all the energy that is required of it. What do they need to do now, Gilbert? We're playing the 72nd minute. We are into the proverbial 70th minute mark.
Well, I think it has been very evident that though they are playing good passes, they've not been able to execute the speed that is required on those passes. And Siom Kebede on the Fasil side knows that his players need to move the game a little bit faster, accurately when they're moving forward, and also when they lose possession, come back in a compact manner. He also knows that to give Getane Kebede time and space to be able to shoot might be of disservice to him, and therefore he needs to be denied that space.
Okay, Gilbert, one thought at a time would have worked for me. I can't remember the last thing you said because you've given advice to both sides, and I was wondering, we have a tab with the picture there, and he was getting back into the midfield. I was waiting for you to give advice to him as well. Same as Kadir Koulibaly, who seems to have been injured, but has gotten himself back into his central defense role very nicely. There's going to be absolutely no need to go for these unnecessary fouls. And I'm saluting Aoun should know much better. He got suspended, didn't play the last game because he had already collected 5 yellow cards. And this is the kind of thing that just gets himself carded for no reason. It's very lucky the referee didn't think that he needs a card for that. But certainly no point in playing it that way. He missed a better game. And he's just back after the yellow cards. 2 that he has committed so far. But he's got the penchant for picking up unnecessary yellow cards all through. We'll give him credit for the goal that he scored, which made it his second goal. But he really needs to do a little bit better than that. Can you hear the way Samake Mikel is complimenting his defenders? It's coming through the microphones, you know?
Yeah.
And he seems to be commanding the defense, and when they do well, he's telling them, bravo, bravo, you know?
That's a way to, give your defenders
to motivate them?
The motivation that is needed.
But also it's communication with them, you know, letting them know I'm here and you're there, do this and I'll do this, and everything goes perfectly all right. You've got to give him that for... You got to give him that for, you know, for just cooperation. Mujib Kasim Hamza hasn't gotten himself on the score chart today. It's too high. But there's 2 of them going for it, including Mujib. The goalkeeper comes off and punches it out. It's going back towards the goal area, but out of the field of play. Rafael Donacho knows he didn't direct it accurately.
It's a good cross from the right-hand side by Nyeo Sahun. And Surafel knows that that's the second ball in a prime position. He's facing the goal. He should have given it a better technical application.
He doesn't get it well enough. We're going to go into another water break for the second half. 0-0 is still the scoreline. This game is still playing. And we probably have slightly more than a quarter of an hour before it comes to an end. But someone needs to break the deadlock because that's what has not been done so far. Mujib Kasim did get a prize from the fans just in the break that we had before coming into the second leg. And for being the top scorer at Fasil at the moment with 12 goals, he got a prize from the fans of Fasil. But today would have been a day for him to also reciprocate and going back to score to show them that, yes, I appreciate your gift. But I tell you, it's not as easy as that because it's not a script. An array of coaches here today, you can recognize them by now. Just watching the games intently and passing the information, of course, to other people who might be watching the game as well. They got the toughest of jobs in the Premier League to guide the players to wins and to guide their players to getting the point. Just watching the games intently and passing the information, of course, to other people who might be watching the game as well. They got the toughest of jobs in the Premier League to guide the players to wins and to guide their players to getting the points. They take the blame for everything. Rarely get the credit if the teams win, because then it is said that the team has won. But when the team loses, oh, the coach has lost it for them.
It's the coach that has lost.
It comes with the job, isn't it? That's the job description.
Oh yeah, it's a job of musical chairs.
Musical chairs as well. So you have to dance as well as a coach.
Keep on dancing, my friend.
I think it's a very interesting job because today you could be touted as coach for president, and tomorrow you'll be really crucified as coach is rubbish. So you really have to balance the two. Salutila went out on the left side for the Fasil side. This is just total full-out, all-out football, Gilbert. It's nothing about the formations. It's right now just about who's going to get the better of the other.
Yeah, it's a question. I mean, once you're in possession of the ball, both teams are thinking of is attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
which is what they should do.
Yeah, which is supposed to be done, and they're equal status and equal strength.
Well, the first inside decided to play with their goalkeeper all the way back. Jared Bai, the captain, joins it. Kadir Koulibaly is the last man on that side, and so he lets the others push forward as he stays back.
Well, Fasil Kenema has not given Mujib Kasim anything to smile about.
No, it's made it very difficult for him.
Yeah, very, very difficult.
That's why he's worrying Siom Kebede as well. SK would be Siom Kebede. And Bahir Davids also needs to give instructions now. He came from winning 4-3 against Kite and 4-2 against Adama, but that was after a string of draws, 3 on the trot, 1-1 against Sadia, 0-0 against Sidama, and 0-0 against Bahar Dar. When they score big, but they also concede big as well. When they scored 4, they conceded 3. When they scored another 4 against Adama, they conceded 2 against Adama. For Fasil, it's the other way around. They score few goals, but they also concede few. And so their goal difference is usually very manageable. They've got a GD of plus 14, having conceded 10 and scored 24. Down on the right side. Oh, Shimeke Gugsa going in the obvious. But here is a chance here. I think there's a handball they are appealing for. So the Fasil side was going to be losing this one. And a foul has been given to them. The referee has probably seen a little more than we have. I don't know what Shimeke Gugsa is appealing to. That handball there. Now, big question. Is the hand in a natural position? Is there an intention to handle the ball? It looks to be like there is, because he wants to pull the ball to him. Yeah. And you see he's got an open palm, which means he wants to scoop the ball back. Now, that is what determines whether it's a handball or not. Tries to scoop the ball back as it touches onto him. That denotes an intention. But you and I are seeing it second, third, fourth time as well. The referee sees it only once. You can't crucify him for not seeing it properly. The referee cannot see open palms there. But you and I get a chance to see it. So it's just been given out for a free kick. There's another substitution is made in this game. In the 80th minute of the game. So it's going to be a free kick. Salutila who is near here. I don't know who else wants to take it. Must be Salu, judging by the way he's placing himself on his favored left foot. And the arrangement by the St. George defense being made. Yeah, it was going to be Salu. It drifts onto the left side. This shot is taken very quickly. The calculation of it doesn't work exactly the way it was expected. And a sigh of relief from the goalkeeper on the St. George side, Gilbert.
Bizab should have done something better. I mean, he was in a prime position. He was all alone by himself. And he knows with his technical application on the left foot, he should have made amends on that one.
Yeah, Bizab Melehu is the man to whom that ball had veered. Gugsa tries to keep it in play. It goes off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. Played all the way back to the last man on the St. George side. 8 minutes of play remaining. And as you would imagine, there's not going to be a lot of added time, at least not yet, because we haven't had much of stoppage. There was a substitution, Gilbert, that came in earlier on.
Yeah, I think Robin Neglande
came into play.
Donning 27 has come in for Yaspira Tesfaye.
Okay.
an attacking midfielder for another attacking midfielder. So I think we're going to see more of attack from Robin Naglande just to help out Getane Kebede in the forward line.
Oh, that's the intention then. As Fasil come out, all guns blazing. Although you get back to the goalkeeper. To Enoch Adunya out on the right side. Well, he cuts back into the middle as he gives the width to try and get the cross back in. So a very strong defender in Amsalo Tilaun waiting for it on that side. And Emmanuel Gabriel Mikael cannot believe that he lost that to Amsalo Tilaun, but then he's got Enoch Adunya to thank for because they get back position. This is still in the possession of the St. George side. They're trying to go through the center. They don't have much space to be able to build it. It's going to be a foul on from the captain. You're by. He's the guilty man here. There it is again.
He's very solid. He's very solid and a very good game reader.
Absolutely. Just very hard man to beat. Abdul Karim is giving support to those who are going to be taking the free kick. It looks like Getane Kebede will be the man to take it. You're hearing the voice of Mikel Samake in organizing the defense, trying to get them to be able to cover the areas that he can't see. Well, now he does, as it goes directly towards goal. It's very easily blocked. In one of the matches in the English Premier League yesterday, you did see a free kick taken like that into the net, but the whistle went again before the ball goes into the net. So the argument was that the moment the whistle goes the second time, the ball is dead here. This one takes a post. Very, very quick action coming in towards the Fasil goal area. Executed by Adis Gidey. And then a foul in the middle of the field. I think a card is going to be coming up here. Yeah. No way to avoid that. I wonder why Sir Rafael Donachi wanted himself booked so much. Got a yellow in the 22nd minute of the last game that he played. And now he's gotten another one as well.
This could be the first time that he's finishing the game.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, you think that's where he's getting the card? Look at it. Just went in so hard there on the Achille Tamene in the midfield. You get very nasty injuries coming from this. And so this is going to be a stop into the game.
It's a good run on the right-hand side by Emmanuel Gabriel Mikael.
Yeah, the one that took the post there quite unexpectedly. Very well guided by Adis Gidey. But then it doesn't go into the net. The post is what denies him the chance. With Samake Mikael very well beaten in this one. And things happening very fast. But he still tells his men to get out of there. And to move on to the other side quickly enough. We're going to see the stretcher coming onto the field of play. To be able to assist in evacuation. The coach says organize yourselves enough for Abdul Karim be moving up at the front. Well, we don't get to hear what Maher Davis is saying, but he obviously is passing on instructions that he think Abdul Karim Mohammed, the defender, should go and pass on to the other players. Abdul Karim himself playing only his 6th match for the St. George side. He'll be allowed to take the free kick. While Ashley Tamene will be allowed to recuperate off the field of play. Quick one by Nat Nile. To Haida Sharifa. And then playing it all the way back to Desta Demu. You know, Desta has been in this game, but very quietly just running his business in the defense for the St. George side. Hasn't come into a sharp focus because he's been dealing with a lot that has been coming to him very, very effectively. Big boot up at the front. And then Amsalu manages to take this one away for the Fasil side. Comes into the midfield. You could already see that it was going to be wasted by Surafel Danacho. That is now distracting him. But he had options. He could play it back to Amsalo. Could have played it back to his other teammates on the right side.
I'm not sure why he rushed into making that decision, because we are going to the tail end of business, and this is where you need the calmness from your strikers to be able at least to get something out of this.
Adunya moves it to the left side. This time round, Adis Gidey gets onto it and is beaten one man. Takes him down the line. Now tries to bring in a cross that is very easily taken. Did Shimaket Guksa handle the ball there? Or was it just a natural touch? Adunya getting the better of the forwards here. And Fasil finding it very difficult to go through the three-man defense of the St. George side. And maybe the 4-3-3 is working better for St. George. Here's a chance. He's not going to get anything for that. You only get stylish after you have scored maybe 3 goals. But without that, it doesn't work very well. Shimaket Guksa handled the ball there.
He did.
Not two ways about it.
The referee is right there,
But
very close to him.
he can't see that, his hand is in the natural position there. No, he extends his hand to touch the ball. He could have very easily controlled the ball with any other part of the body. That would have been an obvious handball, but Mr. Teodros Mitiku has let it pass. It's going to be a throw-in for the Fasil side. 89th minute, Gilbert. What do you say about this game?
Well, both sides have lacked the clinical finishing. Both of them. They've played very well, I would say. But the bottom line is that clinically, they've not been able to finish.
Yeah, you can put it the other way as well, that both sides have lacked creativity in front of goal.
Yeah.
They had the possession in the midfield. They've tried to go for power play. They've tried to push as hard as they can. That physical game has just cancelled each other out. And as a result, they haven't gotten any goals. Mujib was trying to get this one further out. He's been signaled for an offside. And that means that they have to let it start again on this other side. We're playing 3 minutes of added time. And Fasil are going to be making a substitution. And they will remove Mujib Kasim Hamza from the game in the 90th minute. And they will give a chance to Fikadu Alemu to show what he can do. If Fikadu Alemu can score within the 3 minutes, he'll be a Novia superstar for the Fasil side. There's a lot of very tense moments here, and having played 90 minutes, everybody's tired, and tempers are very bound to flare here. Samake not very happy about the fact that Adis Gidey came close to challenging him physically when he had already taken the ball. And a good number of other players will obviously join into that. Well, Samake could be the start of all this. I don't know what Adis Gidey is explaining here. He's going to get a yellow card. And the referee is not thinking about anything else. It will be the 4th yellow card that Adis Gidey has picked up. But why do you pick up the yellow cards in the 91st minute? I mean, the game is almost coming to an end, Gilbert, isn't it?
It's pressure. It's just pressure.
The pressure.
Yeah.
They can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, you can't handle the pressure.
Well, Samake Nikel feeling unfairly challenged. The ball is going to him, and he's already picked it up. Gidey pushes him onto the face. But Gidey was claiming that he also got a push from behind.
Yes, he got a push from the captain, Yared Bai. You think they've killed somebody. I mean,
tempers really flare on the field.
It's just a game of football.
Yeah. It's just a game of football, but the points mean a lot. And tempers really flare in there. Kadir Koulibaly will push it up at the front. Everybody's looking for that very one. 2 points, 3 points actually. It's going to be a throw-in that will be given to the Fasil side. Just about 30 or 40 seconds remaining in regular time. I mean in added time here. on this push up at the front. It's in front of the goalkeeper. This is going to be a penalty because of a push here. And we'll see whether the Fasil side is celebrating it. The St. George side is not very happy about it. The referee is reaching for his pocket. I'd like to see exactly what he has given out for this, in spite of the fact that everybody else will be challenging for it. Mr. Tewadros Mitiku is very categorical about the decision he has made on that. Here it is again. That push there becomes pretty obvious on the new substitute.
Yeah.
Fikadu Alemu. And yeah, because he was going to reach for that ball in between the goalkeeper and the defender. Mr. Tewadros Mitiku, I've just seen him now again, has signaled for a penalty. And an immediate celebration here. And I hope they don't celebrate too soon. We've seen penalties that were given and then once converted at the very last moment. But for Fasil, this will be a realistic chance of opening up the gap at the top of the Premier League table to
32 points.
Well, to 9 points, because they already have 5 points ahead of their nearest challengers. They could put another 3, so they'll be 8 points ahead. And they've given it to Mujib Kasim.
Nope, the captain Yared.
Oh, is it the captain? Oh, Mujib Kasim is out. Yeah. It's captain Yared Baye. Yeah, it's going to be Yared Baye. Well, Yared Baye has not scored so far for the side. He's got a heavy responsibility on his shoulder, same as Baru Negash, playing in his first match with a heavy responsibility. The captain puts it in the net. Doesn't show any emotion by the time he's going to it. It's a massively big celebration for the Fasil side. And then the realization of it now hits him, that he has actually won the game for the side. And playing the 3rd minute, actually the 4th, and going into the 5th, even Samake can afford a smile knowing there isn't going to be anything much more to play for in this game except for a reset. But that holding by the defender Ashale Utamene is the one that gives it away, Gilbert.
Well, Fikadu Alemu has made his mark, and there's no way. And you look at how easy the captain puts that ball in the net. He doesn't celebrate, he just walks off. But to the team, he has scored his first goal of the league.
Yep, at a time when we're talking about the game looking for a superstar, and Fikadu Alemu coming in the very last ball.